Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome everybody to Srimad Bhagavatam Study Circle today. Let's start with prayers. Om Majnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Itinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesh Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langaiti girim Yatkripatamaham vande Paramanandamatamam Shri Chaitanyamishparam Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna, very happy to be with all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam study circle. Requesting devotees to kindly keep your videos on, those who are on the Zoom call, and we also welcome all the devotees who are joining us on the YouTube. Haribo, you can stay connected with us by chat, right? You can see the chat and you'll be connected with us. We'll be very happy to see your comments and also your participation. Okay, so we have discussed last time from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 8th chapter, we discussed till shloka number 30. Yeah, 30 tak ho gaya tha. So we need to resume from 31. So we're going to be starting right away without further ado. Munayah padavim yasya nisangeno janmabihi na vidur mrigayantopi tivra yoga samadhina. Who like to read online? Anyone like to read? Yeah, Brajnandan Prabhu.
Thank you, prabhuji. Narad Muni continued, after trying this process for many births and remaining unattached to material contamination, placing themselves continually in terrains and executing many types of austerities, many mystic yogis were unable to find the end of the path of God realization.
Hare Krishna. So Narad Muni is giving some statistics to Dhruv Maharaj. Yes. And in one sense, he is testing the true determination again. Trying. He tried the past. Many years, no births. And in all these births, they were unattached to material contamination, which means they were not attached to Maya. See, they continuously did this sincerely. Many types of austerities. Many mystic yogis were unable to find the end. That means they never reached the goal. So Narad Muni is telling one statement very clearly that the success rate in this process is very less. Yeah, success rate is very less. That means failure rate is more. So he's giving the actual statistics to Dhruv Maharaj, telling very clearly, you want to do this, I can teach you. But success rate is very poor. It is not, there's no guarantee you'll be successful. Right. There's a real test. My God, somebody listens to this, might feel, at least I would feel seriously discouraged. Let's see. अतो निवर्ततामेष निर्बन्धस्तव निष्फलः यतिष्यति भवान् काले श्रेयसां समुपस्थिते. Please read. Yeah, go
For
on.
this reason, my dear boy, you should not endeavor for this. It will not be successful. It is better that you go home. When you are grown up, by the mercy of the Lord, you will get a chance of these mystic performances. At the time, you may execute this function.
Yes. So Narad Muni is advising Dhruva, please not now. Abhini. You will not, it will not be successful. Even big fellows, they are not successful. Birth after birth, you are a small boy. You are Narbaka, 4 to 6 year old boy. That's the age of Dhruv Maharaj. So for this reason, I'm telling you, this failure rate is high even for big shots. You're a small infant in front of all these people. So better you go home, घर जाओ, go back. You grow up. I'm not telling that you don't do this. You grow up. थोड़ा आगे बढ़ो. Once you're grown up, by mercy of Lord, you will get a chance for all these yogic practices. At that time, you may execute this function. So whatever you want to execute, that time you do. Yeah, please read the purport.
Generally, a thoroughly trained person takes to spiritual perfection at the end of his life. According to Vedic system, therefore, life is divided into four stages. In the beginning, one becomes a brahmachari, a student who studies Vedic knowledge under the authoritative guidance of a spiritual master. He then becomes a householder and executes household duties according to the Vedic process. Then the householder becomes a Banaprastha, and gradually, when he is mature, he renounces household life and Banaprastha life also, and takes to sannyas, completely devoting himself to devotional service.
Yes. So
Generally,
Prabhupada is explaining, yes, Prabhupada, I'll just comment something on this. Prabhupada is explaining the system of Varnashram, how it is very scientifically designed. Yes. So Dhruv Maharaj has not even joined the Brahmacharya Ashram Gurukul. Start bhi nahi kiya. This is the position of Dhruv Maharaj. You have to understand. He's not gone to school. He has not got Brahmachari training, nothing at all. He is directly trying to do something which sannyasis they are bound to do. Can you imagine? Because it's the sannyasis who completely devote themselves to devotional service, and in the Satyuga they perform this mystic process. So that is all the duty of sannyasi, right? Vanaprastha, yes, they stay, the husband and wife together stay in the vana. But then later on, even wife leaves. Then husband has to alone go and in a dedicated way perform all these mystic yogas. So what is, in one sense, what Prabhupada is about to say is Dhruv Maharaj has not even entered scientifically into the Brahmacharya ashram. What to speak of? He is going to do things which sannyasis are going to do. Very lofty. The goal is very lofty. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu, please read.
generally, people think that childhood is meant for enjoying life by engaging oneself in sports and play. Youth is meant for enjoying the company of youth girls, and when one becomes old at the time of death, then he may try to execute devotional service or a mystic yoga process. But this conclusion is not for devotees who are actually serious. The great sage Narad is instructing Dhruv Maharaj just to test him. Actually, the direct order is that from any point of life, one should begin rendering devotional service. But it is duty of the spiritual master to test the disciple to see how seriously he desires to execute devotional service. Then he may be initiated.
Test, test. Two times this word test is coming because Dhruva is being tested to his limits. Yeah. So, and bhakti, this kind of process of bhakti which Narad Muni is about to instruct Dhruv Maharaj, that can be done at any point of time. Yadasyacharanam dhruvasya cha vayo vidya gajendrasya ka. There is absolutely no hard and fast rules, or you can say entry point qualification. The qualification to progress is there, but at entry point, yeah, of course, there is no qualification, right? So as such, Dhruva is qualified, but still, Narad Muni really wants to test his determination. Is Dhruva having the determination? Because this is the only factor which is required, which is the fuel required for one to progress leaps and bounds in the process of bhakti. That fuel is determination. And if Dhruva can really face this, then he can do anything. So he has to face all my viewpoints and comments. And let us see if Dhruva is able to really do it. If he is able to face this, then there is no problem. He can do anything. Let us see. Going ahead. Devotees, please turn on videos and participate in reading. That's my request. यस्य यद्दैव विहितं सतेन सुखदुःखयोः Atmanam toshayan dehi tamasah paramruchati. Please read.
One should try to keep himself satisfied in any condition of life, whether distress or happiness, which is offered by the Supreme Will. A person who endures in this way is able to cross over the darkness of nescience very easily.
Yeah, good instructions. Yes. Yasya yat daiva vihitam. Yes, whatever is designed by daiva, destiny. Tera sukha dukkhayo. Sometimes you will get sukhas, you will get dukkha in life. Correct? Atmanam toshayan dehi. Be satisfied. Tusht raho. Santusht. So this word santushta is complete satisfaction. Toshayan is that root. Santushti. Tamasa param richati. You will easily cross over the darkness. Tamasa param richati. You can cross over just by remaining satisfied. Nice instruction, right? See, Prabhupada, what he says in the purport. Yeah, go on.
Material existence consists of pious and impious fruitive activities. As long as one is engaged in any kind of activity other than devotional service, it will result in the happiness and distress of this material world. When we enjoy life in so called material happiness, it is to be understood that we are diminishing the resultant actions of our pious activities. When when we are put into the suffering, it is to be understood that we are diminishing the resultant actions of our impious activities. Instead of being attached to the circumstantial happiness and distress resulting from pious or impious activities, if we want to get out of the clutches of this nescience, then whatever position we are put in by the will of the Lord, we should accept. Thus, if we simply surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we shall get out of the clutches of this material existence.
Yes, yes, yes. So in this world, people perform two kinds of activities, punya and papa. Punya gives material happiness, and papa gives material distress. So these are the two kinds of activities. Correct? And if somebody is enjoying, we should say his punya is getting over. And somebody is suffering, be happy. His papa is getting over. Yes. So here, whatever we get, happiness and distress in this world is circumstantial. This is a very beautiful word used by Prabhupada. Circumstantial happiness and circumstantial distress. And that is a result of our own activities of the past. So let's not get attached to this. In fact, what we are actually meant for is eternal bliss. We are meant for this eternal bliss. This is what is our rightful nature. But on the other hand, we are running after circumstantial happiness. Correct? So, whatever position we are put by the will of Lord, we should accept, simply surrender. And this kind of surrender, that's what even Lord says. Daivi Esha Gunamahi Mama Maya Duratya Mami Vaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. One shall get out of the clutches. Now, by this time, one will be expecting that Dhruv Maharaj is taking the instructions very seriously. Let us see. And some more instructions, good instructions are being given. So, here, what is being spoken is something very similar to Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.8 तत्तेऽनुकम्पां सुसमीक्षमाणो भुञ्जान एवात्मघृतं विपाकं हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विदधन् नमस्ते जीवेत यो मुक्तिपदे सदाय भाक्. Yeah. So what is being spoken is, well, ultimately everything you get, tattenukampam susamikshama. There's a mercy of Krishna. I got happiness. By mercy of Krishna, I got distress. Everything is Krishna's mercy. Everything is Krishna's gift. Let us accept it gratefully, right? So this kind of statement comes in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, Bhagavatam is making the statement, and such a person is mukti pade sadhaya bhak. Such a person is rightful here for getting liberated. Param ruchati. So it's very similar statement. And this is one of the reasons why the devotees maximum times may leave Krishna consciousness. If you have not properly understood this verse. Main reason is like this, because you do bhakti. After doing bhakti, we expect all problems will go away. But it doesn't happen like that. The sufferings don't stop. On the other hand, performance of devotion service, what is the right thing that one should do? When one is performing the devotional service, there will be ups and downs. There will be suffering. But still, one accepts, oh, this is because of my past life. It's my karma. And one goes on enthusiastically. That is something which is a very favorable attitude. That way you become Mukti Padesa Dayabak. Yeah. Not living Krishna, oh, this, I'm getting suffering. I chanted so much and still problem is coming. So better I leave the chanting. That's a very childish attitude, right? We don't give up bhakti like that. Rather, we surrender more. We do more chanting. We do more hearing, more Bhagavatam. Now there's one more instruction given, very beautiful instruction. Gunadikan mudam lipset anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanadan vichenna tapaira vibhuyate. Yeah.
Man should act like this. When he meets a person more qualified than himself, he should be very pleased. When he meets someone less qualified than himself, he should be compassionate towards him. And when he meets someone equal to himself, he should make friendship with him. In this way, one is never affected by the threefold miseries of this material world.
Yes, yes, yes. Na tapa abhibhuyate, especially which tap? Adi bhautika klesh. Adi bhautik klesh is the klesh given by other living entities. So this particular klesha will not especially affect this person. Usually when you meet somebody who's more qualified, gunadikan, somebody has more guna than you, we become envious. Yeah, we become very insecure and envious. Anukrosham guna adhamat. Somebody who having less qualification, guna adham, anukrosham. We tend to bully them. Yes, we become proud. Oh, I am so great. And we tend to bully them, exploit them. There's a tendency. But this tendency should not happen. Anukrosham means compassion. That's the right way to deal with people who have less qualities than us, who are lesser than us. Maitrim samana danviche. Yes, when you meet somebody who's equal, usually in this world there's a competition spirit. You want to compete with them, you want to defeat them. Yes, you want to compete and defeat, destroy them. This kind of tendency that comes. But that's also not correct. Correct. So, but we should, if you meet equals, yes, well, let's develop good friendship and let's grow together. That's the attitude. And this kind of attitude, na tapar abhibhuyate. You will never have adibodhik klesh, miseries given by other living entities. Especially, that will not be there. Yeah. Please read the purport, Prabhu.
Generally, when we find someone more qualified than ourselves, we become envious of him. And when we find someone less qualified, we deride him. And when we find someone equal, we become very proud of our activities. These are the cause of all material tribulations. The great sage Narada therefore advised that a devotee should act perfectly. Instead of being envious of a more qualified man, one should be jolly to receive him. Instead of being oppressive to the less qualified man, one should be compassionate towards him, just to raise him to the proper standard. And when one meets an equal, instead of being proud of one's own activities before him, one should treat himself as a friend. One should also have compassion for the people in general who are suffering due to forgetfulness of Krishna. These important functions will make one happy within this material world.
Yes. One can be happy. We can have healthy relationships. Because what is actually the root of material happiness? Material happiness means healthy relationships. Yeah, it is not facilities, it is not sense gratification. Yes, all these things usually they are full suffering. So whenever Shastras they speak about material happiness, they actually speak about healthy relationships, good relationships. That is actually material happiness. And those material happiness will come provided we follow these rules. And not only that, even in a community of Vaishnavas, these principles have to be followed. Because we'll always have these people. We have to associate. It is said in the beginning one should have 60% senior association, 20% equal, and 20% juniors. And as we become, spend more number of years in bhakti, yes, more than 10 years, 15 years, then we should have 60% of equal association, 20% of senior and 20% of junior. That's a kind of association. So we will always associate with these three kinds of people. There'll always be these three kind of people. Somebody more than us, somebody equal to us, somebody less than us. This is very natural in any community, in any society, in any company that you're working. Anywhere this will definitely happen. So how to behave? This verse is saying then we'll have problem-free dealings. We'll absolutely not have any problem. And also one of the very important points that one should have is compassion for general people. Yes, so this general people also. Somebody is not equal, somebody is not greater, somebody is not lesser, somebody with whom you have no relationship. Oh, they have forgotten Krishna. We should try to preach. Distribution of books. That's why we do book distribution. We do spiritual programs. Why? We have to show compassion to people in general so that they can also be with Krishna. We have somehow, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, despite not having any qualification, we got Krishna consciousness. So compassion is that beautiful quality of the soul. And this kind of compassion pleases Krishna very easily. Daya sarva bhuteshu santushtya yena kenava sarva indriya upashantya cha tushyati ashu janardana. So Lord is immediately pleased. Lord as Janardana is immediately pleased with people who do three things. What are those three things? Number one, dayaya sarva bhuteshu. They show compassion for all. First, compassion. Santushta yena kenava. Be satisfied with whatever material, wealth, food, and facilities, that anything material what we get, we be satisfied. Okay, no problem. This is what's there in my karma, I got. Thank you. Satisfied. Sarva indriya upashantyacha. Yes, proper sense control. And the sense control will come only when you engage the senses in Krishna's service. So we do these three things, we can please Krishna easily. Tushyati ashu janardana. Immediately Krishna is pleased with you. Ashu means at once, turant. So Krishna is pleased. This is the way to please Krishna. So first thing, out of even these three things, first thing that Krishna tells, this shloka tells is compassion. Daya sarva bhuteshu. Compassion. Very important quality, right? Yes. Then there won't be, you'll be happy. Somebody who is exhibit, you can all practically also see. We go out for book distribution, we went for 1 hour, 2 hour. Even if you've distributed one, two books, there is a very deep satisfaction. At least this is my experience. Of course, if somebody is too result oriented, you may say, oh, Prabhuji, why no books went? Not even one. But Krishna is happy. You tried. You get a very deep inner satisfaction. Oh, we went. Even that one book, two books, whatever distributed by Krishna's mercy, we're very happy. Oh, one soul took the one book. Very nice. You feel a deep sense of satisfaction. We go and do Harinam Sankirtan. We have distributed holy name. We go out and do prasad distribution. Yes, we feel very, very happy. Many times, more than quantity, even for preachers, like I'm trying to be a preacher, more than the quantity. Oh, what happened? I was expecting 100 people, only some 10 people came. It's okay, but if those whatever 5, 10 people with whom we spent 1.5 hours and they've accepted Krishna consciousness, they accept. Oh, then we also feel great satisfaction in heart. Oh, we had good kirtan. They all participated in kirtan nicely. They all heard the class attentively. They did not go away in between. And some of them asked good questions. Then I was able to have a very healthy conversation with them during the prasadam. That's a very deep sense of satisfaction. So this quality of compassion gives a lot of satisfaction. Yes. And this is only called Bhavanand, one of Prabhupada's disciples. He was named Bhavanand. And all the disciples were teasing him because Bhava means material world, Anand means pleasure in material world. Hey, Bhavanand. So people were all teasing him. He went to Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, what is this? You have given me name Bhavan and all devotees are making fun of me. They're saying you are enjoying in this material world. So that time Prabhupada told, what is the true meaning of Bhavananda? Bhava is material world and the only and the real pleasure that can be there in this material world, Bhava Anand is preaching Krishna consciousness, showing compassion to others. This is real Ananda. Personally, I also don't feel satisfied when I don't have programs. I don't speech. Yes, I hear it's very good. Shravanam, we heard so many lectures, we studied so many books, but even one day, if there is no program, we did not have any class, either outside class or some kind of Zoom class. There's some kind of void in heart. Hey, what is this? I think I wasted one day today. Oh, Prabhu, but you read so many things. You you heard so much. You planned so much. There are a lot of services which were pending for a long time you did. अरे वो सब चलता रहता है. लेकिन कृष्णा के बारे में बोला नहीं किसी को. We did not tell about Krishna to someone. So that void remains in heart. That I didn't talk about Krishna. Even Vyasadeva had the same thing, right? He had accomplished so much. All Vedas were written, Upavedas were written, Upanishads, Puranas, Itihasas, everything ready. And what was missing? Exclusive glorification of Krishna. Yeah. So that is something which will give deep satisfaction to soul to glorify Krishna. Yeah. You speak about Krishna to someone, very nice. I can tell you my personal experience also. I had gone to two colleges, one after the other. In one college, the topic was this was very early years of my preaching. I was working with Tata Motors. So the topic was quite a material lifestyle management topic, and I took taken it also that way. A huge crowd, yes, there was huge crowd, lot of question answers, houseful show, applauses, praises, but I was not very satisfied in heart because I could not give Krishna properly. On the other hand, I had gone to another college. The crowd was quite less of interaction, less of this thing. Yes, but many of them were very serious because the topic was it was about the soul, science of soul, direct. And their science of soul, how to really, because done that. I was not satisfied by last lifestyle management topic. I could not speak much about Krishna. So next day I spoke so much. I quoted so many shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. People, because Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's Vani, Bhagavad Vani. So you repeat Bhagavad Vani, you're in association with Krishna. So much, so many shlokas and everything. And people, they were, there was no much jokes. पहला प्रोग्राम में इतने जोक्स थे लोग हंस हंस के पागल हो गए. People were like found it very funny, entertaining. I said we really enjoyed. But this program was very serious program. There was not much of yeah, that's the fun part. There was no laughing, giggling, clapping, but ultimately every one of us, they were all deeply satisfied in heart. And although the crowd was less, almost 80% of them registered that we regularly want a weekly session on Gita. They all want it. Yes, so that is something clear. And on the other hand, that college I checked, yeah, people loved the fun. They said, okay, दो साल में एक दो बार ठीक है. Such kind of energy boosters is good. Like, that will help us to boost energy to do more sense gratification. Yeah, that doesn't satisfy. So we all at our stage, wherever we are, let's try to be compassionate. Try to be an instrument of compassion. Compassion is quality of great souls. We can be an instrument of compassion. Prabhupada's compassion. Okay, so hearing all this, an ideal Dhruva boy in the Sattva Guna, Brahman boy, mode of goodness, he will say, okay, Gurudev, whatever you say, I do, Gurudev. I will go back to home. I will say sorry to everyone. And I will just simply adjust with situation and be happy with what is given to me. But Dhruv Maharaj had a mission. He has a purpose. He has that determination. Let's see what Dhruva says. ध्रुव उवाच सोऽयं शमो भगवता सुखदुःखहदात्मनां दर्शितकृपया पुंसां दुर्दर्शोऽस्माद्विधैस्तु यः. A small boy, but he nicely composed Sanskrit. Okay, anyone who like to read? Braj Pro, thank you for reading so much. I will give a chance to someone else. Yes, Harsh Pro, go on.
Dhruv Maharaj said, my dear Lord Naradji, for a person whose heart is disturbed by the material conditions of happiness and distress, whatever you have so kindly explained for the attainment of peace of mind is certainly a very good instruction. But as far as I am concerned, I am covered by ignorance, and this kind of philosophy does not touch my heart.
या जिसके ऊपर बीतती है उसको पता लगता है. you undergo this problem, you will understand. These are all wonderful instructions that you're given, but it's not touching my heart. It's not touching my heart. Of course, Dhruva is admitting I'm covered by ignorance. He's a very enlightened soul that way. I'm covered by ignorance. I'm not prepared for these instructions. Yeah. So because I'm covered by this ignorance, this kind of philosophy doesn't touch my heart. Whatever. And he's summarizing. He summarized very nicely. Peace of mind चाहिए. कुछ भी करना है, you want to do your material life or spiritual life, both the cases you need a very nice peace of mind. That's a need. And these instructions will definitely give peace of mind. But I'm not touched. Yes, Prabhu, please read the purport. Yeah, go on.
There are various classes of men. One class is called akamis, referring to those who have no material desire. Desire must exist, either material or spiritual. Material desire arises when one wants to satisfy one's personal senses. One who is ready to sacrifice anything to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be said to have spiritual desire. Dhruva did not accept the instruction given by the great saint Narad because he thought himself unfit for such instruction, which prohibited all material desires. It is not a fact, however, that those who have material desires are prohibited from worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the special instruction from the life of Dhruv. He frankly admitted that his heart was full of material desires. He was very much affected by the cruel words of his stepmother, whereas those who are spiritually advanced do not care about the anyone's. Prabhuji, can you please go?
Yeah, yeah, I'm going down. This one. Can you see?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Anyone's condemnation or adoration.
Till here, we'll discuss first. Otherwise, we'll lose track. So, one thing is, we sometimes, now here it is said that if you're desiring for oneself, it is material desire. On the other hand, you're prepared to sacrifice anything and satisfy Krishna. There is a sacrifice involved. Sacrifice of one's own opinion, sacrifice of one's own ideas, sacrifice of one's own thought process. Yes, sacrificing some habit, sacrificing one's own condition, and to satisfy Lord, that is called spiritual desire. स्पिरिचुअल डिजायर के बाद बहुत कंडीशन अप्लाई है. सैक्रिफाइस एनीथिंग मींस कुछ भी छोड़ने को रेडी है. Well, that's a spiritual desire. And many times it's possible that we may have a complex desire. You have heard this in mathematics. What is this? This is called complex number. It has real component and imaginary component. Similarly, our desire many times is a complex desire. Why it got is complex desire? Yes, there is a spiritual component and there is also a material component. दोनों हो सकता है. It's possible, right? So he's first of all frankly admitting that his heart was full of material desire. It's not true. Akama sarvakamova moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whatever you are, you're full of desires, you have no material desires, you have only spiritual desires. Whoever you are, you have every right to worship the Supreme Lord. Tivra bhakti, do tivra bhakti. Yes, Prabhu. Carry on.
In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that persons who are actually advanced in spiritual life do not care for the dual behavior of this material world. But Dhruva Maharaj frankly admitted that he was not beyond the affliction of the material distress and happiness. He was confident that the instruction given by Narada was valuable, yet he could not accept it. The question raised here is whether or not a person afflicted by material desires is fit to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The answer is that everyone is fit to worship Him. Even if one has many desires to fulfill, he should take to Krishna consciousness and worship the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is so merciful that he fulfills everyone's desires. Through this narration, it will become very clear that no one is barred from worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even if one has many material desires.
Barred. मतलब किसी को हटाया नहीं जाता. No one is barred. Correct. So what is the thing that we learn in this particular purport? And the purport, what we learn that he respected Narada's desire, although he didn't accept. He respected his desire. I respect your desire, but I don't accept your desire. Sorry, your instruction. I respect your instruction. I don't accept. This is a proper attitude. And this is something which is also allowed when we are dealing with. If we can respectfully agree to disagree, there is no problem. Yes, agree to disagree. So I respect your thoughts, opinion, even instruction, but I don't accept it. I don't accept. And there is a reason for that. The reason is that I have desires in my heart. Whereas I'm not a person who's completely pure. I have desires in my heart. I have material desire, many material desires to fulfill. Yes. So one thing is Narad Muni doesn't say, okay, you're not listening, you're unfit, get lost. You're a gone case. No, he doesn't do that. We'll see it ahead. Dhruva I still accept it. Next. अथापि मे अविनीतस्य अथापि मे अविनीतस्य शता शात्तरं घोरमुपेयुषः सुरुच्या दुर्वचो बाणैर्न भिन्ने श्रायते हृदीः. Yes.
My dear Lord, I am very impudent for not accepting your instructions. But this is not my fault. It is due to my having been born in a Kshatriya family. My stepmother Suruchi has pierced my heart with her harsh words. Therefore, your valuable instruction does not stand in my heart.
Yeah, currently my heart is pained. My heart is in great pain. So he's begging forgiveness also. He's saying, Avinitasya, I am not submissive. Yes, why? Because I'm not obeying your instructions. Ideally, I'm supposed to obey. I'm not Vinita, I'm Avinita. And one more thing you have to understand, I am aware of this. But Kshatram Ghoram Upeyusu, I have achieved Kshatriya nature. Shatram, I have that Rajogun. Yes. So it is, if there's were instructions for Brahmana, okay, very nice, good instructions. But I am a Kshatriya. And second thing is, my heart is very deeply pained. Therefore, your valuable instruction doesn't stand in my heart. I know its value. I respect it. I am not able to accept it. Yes. Please read, Prabhu.
It is said that the heart or mind is just like an earthen pot. Once broken, it cannot be repaired by any means. Dhruva Maharaj gave this example to Narad Muni. He said that his heart, having been pierced by the arrows of his stepmother's harsh words, felt so broken that nothing seemed valuable but his desire to counteract her insult. His stepmother had said that because he was born from the womb of Suniti, a neglected queen of Maharaj Uttanpad, Dhruv Maharaj was not fit to sit either on the throne or on his father's lap. In other words, according to his stepmother, he could not be declared a king. Dhruv Maharaj's determination, therefore, was to become king of a planet exalted even beyond that possessed by Lord Brahma, the greatest of all the demigods.
Yes, this is the greatest ambition. So Dhruva was very highly ambitious. And especially his ambition was initiated because of what? His ambition was initiated with a desire to take revenge, counteract the insult. He was highly insulted. And in order to counteract this particular insult, he was wanting to have this particular ambition. I will become a king of a planet which is more exalted than Brahma also. And he ends up having that. So this is typically a desire. This is bhakti. What Dhruva Maharaj is desiring bhakti in passion. Daksha, the previous section that we saw, is desiring bhakti in the mode of ignorance. Dhruva is example of bhakti in the mode of passion. So passion, what are the symptoms? It's called four formula. Four. If you want to, you are desiring any kind of fame, opulence, or enjoyment. Yes. This becomes bhakti in the mode of passion. The proof for this is Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 29th chapter, Shloka number 9. We'll just see that shloka. This comes in the teachings of Kapila. So Dhruv Maharaj is an example from of that. Yeah. Vishayanabhisandhaya yasha aishwaryameva va archa archadavarchayedyo mam pritak bhavasa rajasa. What's Prabhupada's giving translation? The worship of deities in the temple by separatists with a motive for material enjoyment, fame, and opulence is devotion in the mode of passion. Yeah, see? Opulence, fame, and enjoyment. Fame, enjoy, opulence, and enjoyment. That's what we just assemble the words in such a way it makes an acronym. Foe means enemy. But eventually this passion will also go away. There's no problem. This is a result of Kshatriya nature being highly spirited, yes, being determined. This nature is there. There's no problem with that. Yeah, please read.
Dhruv Maharaj indirectly informed the great sage Narada that there are four kinds of human spirit: the Brahmanical spirit, the Kshatriya spirit, the Vaishya spirit, and the Shudra spirit. The spirit of one caste is not applicable to the members of another. The philosophical spirit enunciated by Narad Muni might have been suitable for a Brahmana spirit, but it was not suitable for a Kshatriya. Dhruva frankly admitted that he was lacking in Brahmanical humility and was therefore unable to accept the philosophy of Narada.
Perfect. Lacking in Brahmanical humility, therefore unable to accept philosophy of Narad Muni. So he's very honestly admitting. We should have such frank conversation with spiritual master. We should be honest to reveal one's nature, to reveal one's heart, to reveal one's mind in confidence. That should be there.
The statements of Dhruv Maharaj indicate that unless a child is trained according to his tendency, there is no possibility of his developing his particular spirit. It was the duty of the spiritual master or the teacher to observe the psychological movement of a particular boy and thus train him in a particular occupational duty. Dhruv Maharaj, having already been trained in the Kshatriya spirit, would not accept the Brahminical philosophy. In America, we have practical experience of this incompatibility of the Brahminical and Kshatriya temperaments. The American boys who have simply been trained as Shudras are not at all fit to fight in the battle. Therefore, when they are called to join the military, they refuse because they do not have Kshatriya spirit. This is a cause of great dissatisfaction in the society.
Yes, so this is Prabhupada referring to the US military drafting of army for Vietnam War. So he's talking about that drafting into the army. Oh, they're all trained. What have you done? You've trained them as Shudra. That's what Kalau Shudra Sambhava. Kalau Shudra Sambhava means what? Kalau Shudra Sambhava means today everybody is trained how to be a good Shudra. There is no Brahmanical or Kshatriya training. And in many of the lectures, Prabhupada would say, there are enough Vaishyas and Shudras. We need Brahman and Kshatriya. You need Brahman and Kshatriya. And it is the duty of Guru to observe, keep observing the tendency. What kind of tendency this person has? Oh, he has Brahmanical tendency. Okay. He has Kshatriya tendency. He has Vaishya tendency. He has Shudra tendency. Okay. So the Guru will constantly observe the behavior, the qualities that the disciple have. And according to those qualities and desires, the Guru will engage that particular disciple as per that tendency so that you can develop in that direction. Correct? So this is how Varnashram training happened. And what kind of Varna, what kind of training. So everybody needs training, definitely. An untrained population is by default Shudra population. Correct? So Dhruva Maharaj already had a Kshatriya emphasis. So he's telling you, Gurudev, you train me in that direction. Train me how to be a good Kshatriya. Don't make me into Brahmana. Right? Brahmana and Kshatriya have totally opposite natures. If Brahmana goes to a place, he has to be very tolerant. If some injustice he tolerates, Kshatriya, he will immediately correct. He cannot tolerate injustice. He will give justice. Because that's the duty of Kshatriya. He has to administer justice. Correct? So they would behave totally different. That's why Krishna was warning Arjuna also by Don't go for begging. You go for begging. A Brahmana doesn't beg. He will beg. Big Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi, Bhiksham Dehi, Bhiksham Dehi. He doesn't get Bhiksha. He will go and fast. He will say, today in my karma, there is no Anna. On the other hand, Arjuna will curse that fellow. You are not giving me Bhiksha, I curse you. Or he may even kill that fellow because he's Kshatriya. So that's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that to do another man's duty is dangerous. Says, what is that verse? We'll see that. I guess it should be. It comes in third chapter also. It comes in 18th chapter also. Let us see how good. श्रेयान् स्वधर्म विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनिष्ठितात् स्वधर्म निधनम श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावह. See, it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duty, even though faultily, than another's duty perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's duty is better than engaging in another's duty, for to follow another's path is dangerous. It's very dangerous to behave like someone else. You are a Kshatriya, you do Kshatriya duty. You are a Brahmana, you do Brahmanical duty. Yes, do what you're good at. And Vedic civilization is all about that. You focus on your strength. What is your strength? Focus on strength. Increase strength. Yes. Let's proceed. Yeah. Oh, there's purport is still there. Yes, Prabhu. Continue.
That the boys do not have the Kshatriya spirit does not mean that they are trained in Brahmanical qualities. They are trained as Shudras, and thus in frustration they are becoming hippies. However, as soon as they enter the Krishna consciousness movement being started in America, they are trained to meet the Brahmanical qualifications, even though they have fallen to the lowest conditions as Shudras. In other words, since the Krishna consciousness movement is open for everyone, people in general can attain the Brahmanical qualifications. This is the greatest need at the present moment. For now, there are actually no Brahmanas or Kshatriyas, but only some Vaishyas and for most part, Shudras. The classification of society into Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras is very scientific. In the human social body, the Brahmanas are considered the head, Kshatriyas are the arms, Vaishyas are the belly, and Shudras are the legs. At present moment, the body has legs and a belly, but there are no arms or head, and therefore the society is topsy-turvy. It is necessary to re-establish the Brahmanical qualifications in order to raise the fallen human society to the highest standard of spiritual consciousness.
Yes, Prabhupada would often say, he'll often say, a body can be without hands. A body can even be without legs. Yes, body can be without any other part, but head is the most important part of body. Correct? Head. Many times if some accident happens, if there's a head injury, then the person who has got the head injury is very critical. He'll be admitted in ICU or he may even die because head injury can cause something like brain hemorrhage. Yes, it can lead to cerebral damage and all these things. Parkinson, person eventually may die. So it is very, very important to protect the head. So without head, there cannot be a body. So similarly, without Brahmanas, there cannot be a society. Yes, there cannot be society. A Brahmanical person, how the society is one Brahmana in a society, he can inspire Kshatriyas. Yes, the warrior class. And Kshatriyas are like nine. Kshatriyas administer very nicely, inspire the Vaishyas who have money. And the Vaishyas will employ the Shudras, 900. So this is the constitution of a Varnashram, 1,000-member Varnashram family. 1, 9, 90, 900. So what's the most important? Yes, most important is this one. Because one person can create everything. One Brahmana can very wonderfully create. He can inspire Kshatriyas, Kshatriyas can bring Vaishyas, and Vaishyas can employ Shudras. Yes, so we have to be a Brahman producing movement. And how one will become Brahmana? Yes, by simply studying the Prabhupada books and applying in association. Yes, we start reading, start applying, and we will see the Brahminical principles coming. Yeah. Another aspect of Brahminical principle is cow protection. If cows are protected nicely, the cow's milk nourishes the brain's finer tissues. Then there will be Brahminical culture. And when there is proper Brahminical culture, then there will be God conscious society. So the seed of the God conscious society lies in Brahminical culture. And that's what our ISKCON movement is doing. We are training Brahmanas. There is no other institution to train Brahmanas than the ISKCON society. Train in Brahminical principles. And ISKCON is open movement. Anybody come and we will make you a Brahmana. That is Prabhupada's confidence. Yes, Prabhu, thank you. Somebody else can read if possible. Kalyan Prabhu. I will read the shloka, then you read. Padam tribhuvanotkristram jigisho sadhuvartma me bruhyasmat pratibhirbrahman anyer api anadhishtitam.
O learned Brahmana, I want to occupy a position more exalted than any it achieved within the three worlds by anyone, even by my fathers and grandfathers. If you will oblige, kindly advise me of an honest path to follow by which I can achieve the goal of my life.
He's making it very clear what I want. He's very clear. I want to occupy a position, the topmost position, but that's the way I can actually counter my insult. That's a way to counter my insult. I'm going to occupy the topmost position. Nobody could have achieved, not even Brahma has achieved this position. So but I want honest path. I don't want shortcut. I don't want cheating, not a sinful path. You give me an honest plan by which I can achieve my goal. Yes. Purport, please.
When Dhruva Maharaj refused to accept the Brahmanical instruction of Narada Muni, naturally the next question would be what sort of instruction he wanted. So even before Narada Muni asked, Dhruva Maharaj expressed his heartfelt desire. His father, of course, was the emperor of the entire world, and his grandfather, Lord Brahma, was the creator of the universe. Dhruva Maharaj expressed his desire to possess a kingdom better than those of his father and grandfather. He frankly stated that he wanted a kingdom which had no competitor within the three worlds, namely the higher, middle, and lower planetary systems. The greatest personality within this universe is Lord Brahma, and Dhruva Maharaj wanted a position even greater than his. He wanted to take advantage of Narada Muni's presence because he knew very well that if Narada Muni, the greatest devotee of the Lord Krishna, could bless him or show him the path, then certainly he would be able to occupy a more exalted position than any person within the three worlds. Thus, he wanted help from Narada ji to achieve that position. Dhruv Maharaj wanted a position greater than that of Brahma. This was practically an impossible proposition, but by pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a devotee can achieve even the impossible.
We'll discuss first then because time is also getting up. Yes, go on, go on. Complete this.
One particular point mentioned here is that Dhruva Maharaj wanted to occupy an exalted position, not by hook or by crook, but by honest means. This indicates that if Krishna offered him such a position, then he would accept it. That is the nature of a devotee. He may desire material gain, but he accepts it only if Krishna offers it. Dhruva Maharaj was sorry to refuse the instruction of Narad Muni. Therefore, he requested him to be merciful to him by showing a path by which he could fulfill his mind's desire.
Yes. So good thing about Dhruva is he wants the path. One thing is he's very honest in his heart. Yes, he's very clear in what he wants. Number two, whatever he wants from Narada only, from a bona fide spiritual master. He doesn't want anything from some bogus person. And the path also that he wants an honest path. Yes, and he's very clear. I want to occupy a position that is not achieved by anybody else in this world. That's what I want it to be. I want no competition. This material world as such is characterized by competition. Yes, that is a nature, that is the name of this game in this material world. Competition. Cutthroat competition. Yes. Everybody in this world, even Indra has to face competition. The Asuras sometimes they turn the tables. They defeat him. And thus Indra has to become pauper. They are all demigods have to run from pillar to post. They are not having any position. So don't want any competition. Here in this case, Uttam is my competition. I don't want any competition there. I should be the best. That's a desire. I don't think anybody has desired something like this to even beat Brahma. And as such, if you want to beat Brahma, what is the position? You want to become God or what? Because who is better than Brahma? Yes, who is better than Brahma? In one sense, God, Krishna, who else? So this may be also, but he didn't want to be God, but he wanted to be better than Brahma. So it's practically impossible. But what we have to understand here is there is nothing impossible for Krishna or his devotees. This is a very hopeful statement. This is really, really giving a lot of hopes that there is nothing that is impossible by for the devotees or for Lord. They can do anything. Especially when you please the Lord, then there is nothing impossible. There's nothing impossible. So Dhruv Maharaj says, you tell me, I want to please Krishna and get this goal. I know this is impossible. And I don't know, I'm not going to cheat. No hook or crook. Honest. So fulfill my mind's desire. What I'm thinking of doing is let's see how big is this. Oh, it's big. Okay, let's just quickly do this purport and we'll close. Is that okay? Nunam bhavan bhagavato yongajah parameshtinah vitudan atate vinam hitaya jagator kavat. Please read. Yes, Kalyan.
Yeah, my dear Lord, you are a worthy son of Lord Brahma, and you travel playing on your musical instrument, the veena, for the welfare of the entire universe. You are like the sun, which rotates in the universe for the benefit of all living beings.
So
Purport.
nice comparison.
Mm.
Worthy son of I want to become better than Brahma, your father. So tell me how to beat your father. Father's position. That's what he's asking. How to be better than your father. I want to beat him. And he says, see how the sun it rotates through the whole universe gets heat and light from sun. Similarly, you also travel and you give transcendental sound vibration to the entire universe by giving them Narayana Dadati iti Narada. You give Narayan to everybody. We cannot survive. We can survive without food, clothing, shelter. We can, but we cannot survive without heat and warmth, heat and light. That's more essential. And sun gives us that. Correct? It gives us that nourishment. So you're as important as that. In fact, more important than sun. And thus you keep traveling throughout the whole universe. Narad Muni cannot stay in one place. He has Daksha's curse. Yeah.
Dhruva Maharaj, although a young child, expressed his hope that he might be offered the benediction of a kingdom which would exceed in opulence those of his father and grandfather. He also expressed his gladness that he had met such an exalted position as Narada, whose only concern was to illuminate the world like the sun, which rotates all over the universe only for the purpose of benefiting the inhabitants of all planets. Narad Muni travels all over the universe for the sole purpose of performing the best welfare activity for the entire universe by teaching everyone how to become a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, Dhruva Maharaj felt fully assured that Narad Muni could fulfill his desire, even though the desire was very extraordinary. The example of sun is very significant. The sun is so kind that he distributes his sunshine everywhere without consideration. Dhruva Maharaj requested Narada Muni to be merciful to him. He pointed out that Narada travels all over the universe just for the purpose of doing good to all conditioned souls. He requested that Narad Muni show his mercy by awarding him the benefit of his particular desire. Dhruv Maharaj was strongly determined to fulfill his desire, and it was for that purpose that he had left his home and palace.
So this was the first test to leave his comfort zone. Dhruva did that. Home and palace was his comfort zone. He gave it up. And number two, here the second test also. He was thoroughly discouraged by Narada. And he, in one sense, very cleverly advised him. But Dhruva Maharaj is still determined. No, I want to do it. You tell me a way by which I can do it. You show me that. I want to fulfill this purpose and you show me how to do it. Right? So the great thing is Dhruva Maharaj values the Bhagavat. That is the best part. He's very much having the value of a pure devotee. Now this attitude that I'm dealing with a pure devotee of Lord, one of the best devotees of Lord, that's what Prabhupada also mentions. The best devotee of the Lord. You're dealing with that person. So this is what I know. I know so he's that awareness is very important. Dhruv Maharaj is never he of course it he although he's a child, he's not behaving childishly. No, there's no childishness on his part. He is just being very ambitious and clear of what he wanted to achieve. So that is one of the greatest qualifications. See, one of the offenses that one may commit is not to be glad upon seeing a Vaishnava. Yes, that's the first offense. You're not glad to see a Vaishnava. But Dhruva Maharaj was very glad that he had met. I am very fortunate to have met Narad Muni, such an exalted devotee. So that way was absolutely not offensive. He was very respectful. And he also knew that my heart is full of ignorance. That's why I'm not able to fulfill the instruction. But still, you give me a path, honest path, by which I can fulfill the desire to get this impossible. And he also had full faith in Narada that impossible is possible when I have blessings of such a devotee like Narad Muni. He can give me what I want. Wonderful, right? Hare Krishna. So we'll pause here. We have read 9 verses. Okay, I think 8 verses, 31 to 38. It's quite a good discussion we had. So we'll continue from 39 next time. Are there any questions? Either on Zoom
Hare Krishna.
or yes, on YouTube. Yes, go ahead.
Prabhuji, here many Mahajans are there, like our Prahlad Maharaj, like also Dhruv Maharaj is a position is it is one of the Vaikuntha planet I heard. Is it correct? And
What he gets, what he
what is his
gets,
position actually? What is the position like Prahlada or what?
we have to understand that all these personalities of Bhagavatam who are able to have a Leela with Lord, they are as such Nitya Siddhas. They come from spiritual world. They have a spiritual position. But even if they are coming, Acharya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that when they come to this material world, they also start through Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti only. They start. That's how their journey also begins, through Vaidhi Sadhana. And then they go on. Right? So he is definitely a Nitya Siddha. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be interacting personally with the Lord in his Leela. Lord is performing Leela with him. He's part of Lord's Leela. Right? Yeah. Same is true for everybody. Okay. So YouTube questions. I'm not able to see any questions on the YouTube. क्या क्या ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. No worries. We will pause here. We'll meet next week. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada ki jai. समस्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. हृदय गौर प्रेमानंदे. हरे